First, I'm going to start sketching and block this big massive shapes. I'm going to take a little bit light color and with some Gamsol. To first take a look and the positive space and the negative space. And you want to draw that a little bit easier, simpler. And that right here, the nose, right over here, I'm going to put it. Make up your mind. And this is the top of the nose, just a little bit above the middle point vertically. Okay. Don't try to draw more or do more, but think a little bit more first. Okay, here you go. Like that. And then this all the way come up. That's just the forehead. Come up over here. A bit like that. And let's connect to the hair. Right here. Now I'm going to draw. I think the ear over there, ear is a halfway from here to the front. Try to keep the same proportion. But you can make up your mind to change it if you want. But think a little bit more whether or not you want to make that change, or the change will be what you want, more proper. And here you go. Now I'm going to put a little bit darker color. It deliver my firm decision in the proportion. So you can see this whole face over here coming down over here like that. And to the mouth, you can see that the mouth right about here. Okay, there's a group of white hair, and the nose right in here. You don't need to think too much about the accuracy. You just have the roughly the location. I'm going to make this a little bit softer. I think that's a little bit too dark, affecting my thought. And from here, the ear, they come down over here, almost like a vertical, and then come to the front over here. So I have a lot of hair coming over here, and there is a shadow shape over here, and there's the shadow shape over here, and coming up here, and this is the shadow too. And just give a little marking. And where's the eye? The eye is right here. I think I want to keep it a little bit darker. Just put a little mark over there. And painting oil doesn't need to worry too much about, hey, I need to leave that wide. Okay, no, you can put any color on as long as you don't put too thick color at the beginning. Okay, you don't want to make too thick. Thick will be the problem. Okay, you have to wait, and or you can wipe something off in order to make it paint a little bit easier. And then take a little corner over here and relate to the location of the eye. Those kind of things that we're going to learn, we're going to be better with this observation. So if you are thinking about, I know you guys are already in the drawing program. So we're going to all have fun with that, preparing fun thing coming this summer. This is the shape over here. Now I have another shape over here. Now take a look at this. Is the neck over here. The hair coming up like this. And that's the top of the back. You can take a look at the anatomy, how this is connected to the top of the ear here, right? We take top of the ear, compare with the forehead over here, coming up. And that is circling over here, right there. And this a little bit higher. And then from here coming down, this is actually the back. Okay, that's the hair on the top. Like that. And then you're going to see there's catch the shadow of the hair over here. Now, we already figured out all those big shapes. So if you want to make it changes, like say, I'm going to move the forehead a little bit higher. And you can change it now before you start painting the shape. Okay, right here, I can make it a little bit higher. Like that, and then here you go. And coming here, that's the top. And the nose, right here, I can make it a little bit forward, a little bit. Okay, that's good. Give a little bit more. As long as it's the first round, you make it a little bit drier, a little bit thinner, so you're not worry too much about later on how you're gonna apply the thicker paint. Okay. Now I'm gonna make this a little bit higher. The hair over here. Like that, and then over here, a little bit higher, and coming on, and a little bit higher over here. Alright, now I'm gonna apply the large shapes. Okay, I'm gonna switch to a little bit larger brush. I'm gonna use the number 6 fiber shape. It should be good enough. Now I'm gonna go with first the outside color. I'm gonna put the outside color in the similar tone. And maybe the top over here have some variation, but I'm gonna set the most area to be the same color tone. So I'm gonna look around in my palette over here. What color is pretty close? I'm gonna start with this a little bit darker color here. I'm gonna take this dark color and put it into this orange color. It have a little bit greenish. And how I can tone this color? Get the red, right? This is the opposite from that. And I'm gonna get a little bit more blue. Okay. I think this is pretty good. I'm gonna have a little bit white. Take a look at the side. That's a pretty good color. And I'm gonna put this color on to take a look. And this is the outside. And that's probably too dark. I'm gonna see. And a little bit over here, testing it. I need to get some yellow color. So I'm gonna take this color next to it. That's a little bit too green. With the green, this is one of the color. And this is good. I'm gonna get a little bit white, mix it into it. Now I'm gonna put it back over here. I can paint a little bit darker or thicker. This is fine. I'm gonna come in over here. Here you go. I'm gonna spread the color a little bit later. Okay, here you go, like that. And only notice the shapes. Okay, this is fine. I'm gonna coming over here and coming down. Okay, you don't have to cover the whole area. The majority area is fine. So it's just so gives you enough room to compare. But you don't have to make it all solid. I'm gonna have a little bit gamsol into it, and then we're gonna let it coming down a little bit quicker, faster. Now here you go. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit yellow. I'm gonna put that in here. That's good. Try to see the majority area. And what's the color for this whole shape on the outside. I think this is maybe a little bit too dark. I'm going to take a look and maybe have a little bit more white and mix it in here. Maybe get a little yellow because it looks a little bit more like orangeness. Get a little red. Okay, that's good. I'm going to come back over here and put the color in here. That's fine. And make it a little bit softer. So this, just put other color. You think that's supposed to be that value. That's fine. I'm gonna have a little bit gamsol and let it help to spread the pink a little bit more. That's good. Like that. Also make it thin. That's good. Like that. I think the outside is pretty good. Could be a little bit lighter, but I'm gonna see. And the top over here, I'm gonna have a little bit brighter color. I'm gonna get a little bit yellow, get a little red, very much a little bit more orange, light brown color. I'm gonna have a little bit more white. I'm gonna take a look. You see that? This a little bit lighter, right? So just think about a little bit lighter, a little bit more yellow, a little bit more red. And simple. It's just have a little light coming like this. That's fine. You don't need to get too caught up with the small shape and details. So I'm going to have a little bit more lighter like that. Coming down, that's fine. And coming all the way down over here if I want. Just keep a little simple. Okay. And over here, I'll probably also put a little lighter color, lighter pink right here. Okay. That's good. Now, the first area color is already there. This color may not be right, okay, until you have all the colors in place. Now I'm going to take a look at inside. I think I'm going to have a little bit more white color mixed into this. This already look like the color on the face. Can you see that? This looks like a much better color. I'm going to ping around the eye. You don't have to cover it like this. Here you go. Coming to the front over here. Now, don't over apply the color. Only apply the color you think is belong to the similar range of color and the value. Okay, here you go. I'm going to have it like that. I'm going to come down a little bit in this area. So this is another shape, another color shape. And this also have a little yellow. I'm going to apply that a little bit over here. And keep a little thin. Okay, that's good. I'm going to have it coming down over here. It's going to change other colors. And down over here, a little bit more yellow, like that. Right now, just apply the color. And then we're going to adjust the colors. Okay, here you go. Now coming over here, we try to make it to be like, belong to that whole shape. We come back to this, make it a little bit darker, a little bit later. Maybe at this point, let's just add a little color around the tip of the nose, because also a similar value of color. Okay, now I'm going to take a look at the back over there. Have a little bit gray. So this a little bit more gray, have a little bit more red. You can see it compared to this color. And is that a little bit red? Oh, that's a little bit red. Now look a bit closer to that color. So I can paint around this shadow shape. Okay, you don't have to paint on into the area everywhere and try to overlay to get a color. That is not necessary. You're going to make it much harder than it is, right? And you're going to put that color there. And now, at the bottom, I'm going to just have a little bit white into here. And the bottom over here, I'm going to add a little bit lighter, like that. Okay. That's good. Like that. Have a little shape. Now I'm going to apply the color for the hair. And before I do that, I'm going to set the color here. This color similar to the hair over here. So I'm going to take a look at, and it's supposed to be a little bit more red and mix it into this. I also have a little bit more yellow. And we only use the Windsor yellow, Windsor red, and the Prussian blue, and the last color, that is the titanium white. Okay, I'm going to take a look at this color, pretty similar, the color we want right here, like that. That's on the nose. It may be too dark, and we're going to see, maybe a little bit more white. And then coming over here, and then on the front of the eye, and this color coming onto this shape, this area, coming all the way here. And here you go, like that. And now on the corner over here, have this color over here too. And another shape like that, and showing this whole area a little bit more curve. Okay. Now also I have a little yellow color. And in here, like in the middle tone. So that's good. And in the middle over here, I'm going to get a little bit darker. A little bit color coming down over here, like that. That's pretty good. Now, one color at a time. Okay, that's good. And this separated and have a little bit shape coming here. The little cooler shape. Okay, here you go. Now, and down over here, I'm going to start change a little bit warmer. So you don't want to think about gold is not help. We just think about how much yellow, how much red, and the color that you have on the palette, right? You want to think about other colors, and unless you use different color palette, a different color mixing system. Okay, this have a little bit more blue, a little bit gray. You can see that the shadows area. Now we talked about earlier, we see this is also a darker shape. And don't see the small hair. Just thinking about the whole area of shape. Okay, and the back over here, have a little bit more red. Go, a little bit red, a little bit brown. I'm gonna make this, and most of us doesn't really see the value dark enough, and always try to average the color. Okay, and this could be a little bit too dark, but we're gonna see. We're gonna come back to balance it. Okay, now coming on the back over here, this a little bit darker. I'm gonna have a little bit yellow color, and here you go, a little bit yellow right there. That's good. I see the whole shape, and the back over here is actually darker, so I'm not sure the color is right, but you're first gonna have all the color in place in order to be able to see them properly. I'm gonna have a little bit yellow, and I'm gonna have a little bit white. Okay, I'm gonna put that here. There you go. I'm gonna have a little bit white and start changing the color. A little bit more white. Put it in here. This is pretty good. I'm gonna put that a little light color. There you go, like that. A little bit color over here. A little bit light color. Just think about the colors. Don't even think about the hair. It's just think about what is that color. Little color over here. Okay, here you go. And a little bit more brown over here. And we're gonna have a little bit gray color, the shadow on the other side. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more yellow at the top, which is what you think is a gold color, but it's not such gold color right here. Look like. And connect it into this side. And then coming here, I think you need to have a little bit more white. Okay, a little bit more white paint. That's good. And the ear over here, have a little bit of this color and have a little bit yellow, a little bit more orangeness mixed with this a little red over here. Okay, that's good. A little bit red over here. A little bit yellow. That's good. Have some this. A little bit brownish color. I'm gonna have this coming out a little here. I'm gonna set a little bit lighter, a little bit thicker. Here you go. Like this. That's good. We're gonna have a little bit more detailed color a little bit later. I'm gonna come back over here. Now I can see the color need to be changed. And I'm gonna have a little bit warmer brown color. So when you feel a little bit more gold, brighter color, this a little bit brighter. There you go. But this is not dark enough. Squint your eye, you can see the true value of the color. And now I'm going to, okay, I'm gonna have a little bit deeper brown color. So I'm gonna get a little bit red, and with this blue color in here, and this a little bit yellow. Okay, I can see that there's a little bit darker color right here, this little triangle. There you go. A little bit colder blue color. We're still working on the first step of the painting process, and try to covering the whole painting with the proper value, not details. Okay, now in the back of the lion ear, it has even deeper color, so I'm gonna have a little bit more blue. It's with a little red because it look a little bit warmer. I'm gonna put that color right behind the ear. Then a little bit more blue. It's too much red. Here you go, like that. Okay, if you make yourself less detail in your head, just focusing on the big form. How can I make the look of the lion more like in a dimension? Okay, here you go. I'm gonna have this. This probably still too dark. We're gonna see. This may be not the exactly right color. We're gonna see. Now it's a little bit more bluish color. I'm gonna take a look, and I think you need to have a little bit red in it. Simple, a little bit brownish red, yellow, red, and mix into it. I think it's a little bit more blue. I'm gonna keep going and then take a look, and that's too dark, so I'm gonna have a little bit lighter. Still a little bit lighter. I'm gonna take this light color, put it here, and squint the eye and judging the color. Okay, here you go. Now this color probably better. I think that's pretty good. And there's just not that much choices as you are using this limit color palette. So also make it much easier to making the adjustment. Okay, here you go. Like that. That's the shadow color. Coming down, and a little bit coming down here. And have a little bit darker. A little bit darker color over here. Just seeing the shape. A little color over here. Here you go. Like that. Color over here. And also here, a little bit soft hair coming to the outside. Okay. I think mostly the color is pretty good. Now I need to come in to make the adjustment. Okay, now I already have the color here, but it's not exactly the correct color. And what we're gonna do, and we have to have the color on the canvas before we can come into take a look. Over here, I think it's a little bit darker, a little bit right here. Now make the adjustment. And this area, the whole area here, just a little bit darker like that. This is good. And this, the side over here, also need to have a little bit warmer color. Now you think about that, this color need a little bit more red or a little bit more yellow. Okay, right here, and have a little bit more orange color right over here. Here you go, like that. And a little bit darker. Here you go. A little bit darker. A little bit darker over here too. Screen your eye to see how the color look. And now this area looks a little bit better, but it's not final. So here you go. A little bit like that. Now down over here, I'm gonna have a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna get a little bit white. Take a look, it should be this color, pretty much in this local. And I'm gonna take a look, and that's the lighter shape. Here you go, like that. A little bit lighter shape. That's it'll be lighter. There you go. Now this whole area a little bit lighter, and as we continue developing it, you're gonna see that it's more and more, it's going to more and more realistic. And down over here, that's good. And right at the nose area, now I'm gonna see a little bit orange color. That's exactly the color, a little bit orange color right here. So you see orange color is basically a little bit yellow and red color, right? This is good. Now I'm gonna have a little bit, almost like this color. A little bit lighter, a little bit white coming here. And here you go, like that. That's good. Okay. You can take a look at that, a little bit softer. Okay. That's very good. And I have a little bit more white paint on the other side. And that's just pretty light. So I'm gonna just use the white paint right over here. Just think about shape. Don't think about even nose or anything. Here you go. Take a little bit more white. Just put it in here. Rotate your brush. Make sure that how I apply the brush to achieve the color and achieve the stroke of color and correctly, and over here. That's good. Like that. I'm gonna have a little bit more white. Take a look at the shape over here, and in a little bit, and then move. Now take a look at the bottom that have another light shape from here. Just think about shape. Everything is only good if you think about visual elements. Okay, lines, shapes, value, color hue. So I'm not going to do the small hair yet. Just still think about correcting the colors, adjusting the color, coming a little bit over here, and then you see a little bit shape coming out here, and about this will be the color, a little bit orange, light orange, like over here. Right, that's good. That's good, like that. That's what I mean is think about shape, think about the value. And you see that? Just by adding a little bit thing over here, a little bit there, it's gonna look like the lion. But in my mind, I know it's a lion, but I'm not looking for the evidence it's a lion. I'm looking for the evidence of value and contrast. Now I'm gonna coming back to the outside. Is that the right color? I think it's the value is still good on the top over here. Yeah, and I'm gonna have a little bit orange color, like that. Let's take a look. I'm gonna have a little shape coming down like this. And here you go. A little shape over here. And I'm gonna have a little bit green. I have some little green color over here. It's good. I'm gonna have a little bit color like that. And a little yellow color. Here you go. And right over here, I'm gonna get a little bit yellow-green color. And also use this color to cut it in a little bit on the edge. That's good. And the bottom over here, I'm gonna have a little bit green color. Here you go. Some little green color. You don't have to make it too clear what's the shape. Okay, like that. It's pretty good. Okay, in the back, maybe have also a little green color. This is kind of interesting. But you don't have to make it exactly this shape. It's just a little green. It'll be fine. Okay, it's getting there, right? You see that? I'm not kidding. It's actually getting there. I'm gonna have a little bit red. And coming back over here, I think too much blue. Need a little bit more red. Inside the shadow need to be very flat, very much the same color. Because it's on the same color scheme. I say the same color here, yeah, and the same color lighting. And it should be the same color for the shadow. Okay, like that. It's actually catch the shadow. I think it still need a little bit more red. I'm gonna get a little bit red in here. So I'm just gonna add the red in here. Okay, it's much better. Okay, just to add the red color. Yeah, making sure the color. Now we're actually starting further correction of the color while we are continue building up the shape. You see there's this sense of catch the shadow. Pretty good. You have a little bit gap, a little bit turning over here. Okay, that's good. Now the bottom over here also going to cut into some of the shadow shape. I'm going to get a little yellow and almost like a brown color. I'm going to look at this color. This color, get a little red, get a little yellow color. That's very much the color and the shadow shape. It's still a thing about shape. I'm going to cut this one piece right here. You see that? That's the shape. And there's another shape over here. And then another shape coming up. And then some shape over here. Now you can fill in this area. A little shape over there. And for oil painting, most of the time you rather paint a little bit darker and then go into lighter later. It's easy to do it that way. But you get a little bit lighter, it's too light, it'll be a little bit difficult to cover with dark. But dark and then easier to cover by the light. Now I'm going to come here. I think have a little bit more greenish color, which is at least it's not as much as red. So I see a little bit green color here. See it? Which is you see less red. That is the feeling a little bit green. Okay, here you go. That's good. It's just the way of comparing. Okay, if more red, it'll be less away, a little bit more away from green, which is the complementary color. Okay, I'm gonna coming up over here, have the hair a little bit softer, coming over there, higher over here. That's good. A little bit softer here. Okay, before we go further from here, and I'm going to add a little shape into the eye to make us just feel a little bit better. I'm going to use just a little bit smaller brush. I'm going to use this number 1 fibre shape, natural hair. And here you go. Now I'm going to just paint inside the eye. And what color is it? I think this is the color. Put it close to, not the darkest in the middle, the part over here in the middle over here. That's just a little bit warm color. And here you go, like that. Take a look. It's very simple. If you keep thinking about it, just the color with this 3 primary mixing together and plus the white, and how dark, how light that would be. I'm gonna first painting this shape. Think about the location of the eye. It should be pushing up a little bit more, and could be, I think, a little bit away from the nose. So I'm gonna have it here. If you ask yourself these questions, and you're gonna pay attention to that, and should be a little higher, I think it's about there. That will be fine. Okay, right here. And here you go, like that. And don't worry about anything else. Just make sure you get this form correctly. Okay, here you go. That's the eye right here. That's good. And the nose right over here, and get a little bit darker. Okay, here you go, like that. I need to cover some other shape. Okay, here you go. That's good. Okay, now I'm gonna have a little bit dark color. Since I have the dark color here, the corner of the mouth. Also compare this to the eye to see whether or not it's in the right place. Okay, the ear over here, throw a little dark color over here too. That's good. That's good, like that. There you go, right here, in the middle over here. A little bit more warmer. My brush has too much blue color. Get a little bit warmer. When you get in the middle of those hair, a little bit warmer. That's good. And also I have a little dark color. So when we are painting the detail here, it will be looking good. And this shadow color looks good, like that. And cover that. That's good. Some of the color similar. Okay, here you go. All right, getting little by little. Now come back to the eye. Now we see how we can cover some of the area on the outside. Take a look at if this is the right color. It's about the right color. Maybe too get a little bit yellow, a little bit too dark. I'm gonna get a little bit yellow, get a little red, and give a little bit more feeling of orange. And then I'm gonna have the white pink. I'm gonna have, this is probably good. I'm gonna come here to take a look at, cover partially the bottom over here. That's good. Okay, like that. You can see, that's good, the shape. And over here, I have the little shape coming this way. That's good. And the top over here, and also over here, and the corner of the eye have a little bit richer. So this is good, the richer color, like that. Okay, it's good. All right, I'm gonna have a little bit line over here. And here you go, a little bit shadow over there. Okay, so I have those color as the foundation, and we're gonna working on the color on top of this a little bit later. Okay, now I'm gonna take a look at above the eye. That's good, like that. Now I'm gonna painting in the inside the eye. And let's take a look. I'm gonna use a little bit tinier brush. And by having just a little smaller brush. Okay, this is a very old brush. So that's good. I'm gonna start from a little bit darker. I'm gonna take a look at inside the eye. It has this color almost. This a little bit darker first. Be patient. You'll be fine. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna put a little color darker in the corner over here and the inside. And I'm gonna soften that a little bit. The hair coming down from the top. Okay, now I'm gonna have a little bit yellow color. You see a little bit yellow color right in the middle. Maybe a little bit yellow brownish color. So take a little red over here, in here. That's good. I'm gonna gradually turn into a little bit more lighter and lighter yellow. Okay, let's take a look right in here. Don't worry about the highlight. You can come back to the highlight. Just a little touch, and that's good enough. Okay, now I'm gonna have a little bit more yellow. Maybe the yellow with the white. I'm gonna have this, and even lighter. Okay, here you go, a little bit lighter. Now here you go. Just make it sure you have enough paint. Okay, take a look. Oh yeah, that's good. Right there. And the inside over there have a little bit more green. You can see a little green, a little bit darker, a little green, right in the middle, right here. Okay, and I'm gonna have a little bit bluish, a little cooler color. And take a look at in the middle over here too. Okay, that's good. All right, now I'm gonna see a little bit very light color. Little light color right in the middle over here. You see a little light. You see that from large to small gradually. You're gonna get closer and closer to the true. But you always start from the light, the large shape. I'm gonna have a little bit here. That's good. Oh, I like that. A little smaller shape. And I'm gonna come back here, use a little bit darker color. And come in here, extend it. That's good. There's always opportunity for us to correct it and make the different color, different shape, and gradually moving forward. Now, in the middle of that iris, that is the pupil. I'm gonna have some really dark color just for that little thing. And here you go. Look at what's the color. A little bit red. And not worry about is the color dark, and we don't need lots of dark color right here. That's good. That in the iris. Now I'm going to fill in a little bit light yellow. Okay, come back here. There's light yellow. Gather enough paint in the tip of the brush. Okay. Here we go. Now I'm gonna have it right here. A little bit thicker. Okay, get a little bit yellow. The yellow is not really have good cover. Is opaque enough. Sometimes we just have to take the titanium in order to have enough coverage. I'm gonna have this right over here. That's good. Like that. That's good. Okay, now get a little bit more yellow on the top. You already have the titanium under. Here you go. Yeah, here you go. Okay. Now I'm gonna come back to reshape that little pupil color. And this very dark, I like that a little bit. Again. Okay, that's good. Now I'm also going to paint the brown color around as the line. And a little bit more red. That's good. I want to take a look at this edge. It's good. Okay, inside over there can be a little bit darker at the corner over here. Pretty good. I have the feeling of the eyes around it. Now I'm gonna put that highlight in. You're gonna see. We can come back to make more changes. But after I put the highlight, you're gonna see, oh, okay. And I think I'm gonna use even smaller brush. I have a very smaller new brush. This is number 2 round brush. Okay, now I'm gonna just take the titanium white, shape it, making sure it's small enough. Okay, that's good. Now take a look. Right in the middle here. And the other bit thicker. A little bit thicker pink. Okay, that's good. Right there. A little bit thicker. Not enough. Okay, here we go. Ooh, that's very good. And I'm gonna have very nice. It's just gonna have clean the brush. When I come back to have a little bit darker in the inside of the eye, right here. Okay, that's good. A little bit dark over here too. I'm gonna put it this direction. This is the catch to shadow. Yes. Okay. And okay, now I have the eye a little bit better. Now I'm gonna also have a little bit warm orange brown color, and also at the edge here. Okay, a little bit edge here. Just tap on it. That's good. That's good. That's the eye, the corner over here. That's pretty good. Since I have this color, now I'm gonna have a little bit lighter brown color. Also apply that to the middle over here. You see this? Nice. Now, a little bit warmer. Okay. Here you go. I have a little bit gray. A little bit gray coming over here. That's good. And the bottom over here has a little gray filling in. And get a little bit darker right here. Okay, and a little bit dark over here. Have a little bit clear shape down over here. Okay. All right, I'm gonna come back to use a little bit larger brush. Continue adjusting the color. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna come back here to, I think mostly the last shape is pretty good. Now I'm gonna separate this, has the form turning and then down over here, coming up and turning over. So I'm thinking about that, and this can be a little bit darker. Okay, so I'm gonna come with this a little bit darker color here and take a look. I'm gonna go with the motion up there here. Okay, like that. There you go. There's some shape coming over here. It's still a little rough. Okay, it's fine. Like that. And move that in here. Let's get a little bit yellow. Over there, get a little yellow over here. A little bit brighter color, but it's not really that dark. That's good. There we go. Let's go. Some of the line floating out over here. Now also see a little light color, a little more white. Here you go. Okay, here you go. Like this. Adjusting the color. Continue. And above the eye, I'm gonna get a little bit lighter color. You go right here. You see a little bit lighter. Okay. You gotta use a little larger enough brush. A small brush doesn't carry much paints. Okay. Now underneath here, you can see a little bit more warmer golden or say orange color. Take this color. A little red. A little bit more red. Here you go. Let's take a look at this. That's pretty good. It's a little bit darker over here, but right under the eye, we can use a little bit lighter. Use a little bit lighter shape. Here you go. Like over here, yes, I have a little bit lighter. Now here you go. Expand that a little bit. Expand that, the lower eyelid. A little bit lighter. Like that, you can now use a little bit more thicker and thicker color. Okay, like that. So that you can have the form created. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit more white. You got a little bit more white. Put it right there. In the corner over here, a little bit more white. Okay, that's good. And a little bit white shape. You see how you use the brush, how you create a stroke. Okay. Okay, top, above the eye, I'm gonna make it even lighter right over here. Here you go. And here you go, a little bit lighter here. There you go, right over here. That's good. Just think about the color again. Now think about the color around the nose. You got right here. That's good. I come a little bit closer in, a little bit higher. And also have a little bit light shape in here too. Have a little color coming down. A little bit color coming down over here. Here you go. A little bit softer, like that. Okay, you're getting there. Now, for now, I'm gonna have a little bit darker in the shadow. You can see this is the darker, this is the shadow, right? Have it like this, and a little bit darker. There you go, a little bit darker around the outside. of the nose. Not just make it darker. You have to think about what color is it. Okay, a little bit like this. And maybe too dark. Oh, I'm gonna see. When I have some color next to it, dilute it a little bit. Okay, that's good. And okay, now I'm gonna put a little bit brown color into the swiggers. And what color is it? Have a little bit yellow, a little bit gold color, that kind of feeling. That's get the yellow color. Let's take a look. Just draw a little shape. That's good. And refill the color because you don't want the color that you have carry from the canvas and affecting the next application. Okay, that. And here you go, like this, and gradually disappear into this side. Okay, a little bit more. Think a little bit more. Okay, come back here. So we take this color. Actually, very easy to calculate. Is say, oh, is that a little bit yellow, a little bit red? Okay, like that. A pretty soft mark. Go over here. Now, I'm gonna very quick. I'm gonna reload the paint. Coming back here. So all those small details, you can't do that at the beginning because a lot of things is waiting for you to balance. We all talk about balance every time. Balance, and down over here, a little bit more shape like that. That's pretty good. Over here, also have a little bit gray color. Okay, and you see this. We need to paint the color in between, a little bit light color. And here you go. Have a little bit yellowish. Have a quite bit of orange color. Yeah, yellow and red. And ooh, that's too much red. Over there, get a little bit more yellow. And now take a look. I have this color, a little bit more orange. And here you go. That's good. That now paint it in between those dots to make it even more realistic and intentional. Okay, here you go. Okay, that's good. And continue with this. And down over here, you see also a little bit of this yellow, gold, orange color. And here you go, the hair now coming down and cover a little bit more of the mouth. Okay, now I'm gonna get a little bit more white paint, a little bit lighter. Otherwise, those doesn't really look like connected. Sometimes you have to paint the outside, painting the color around this that make it look more. Okay, here you go, a little bit more. Okay, that's good. That's good. A little bit lighter here. Now I'm gonna paint a little bit more white. More white paint. Here you go. Now here you go, right in here. Come a little closer. It's not really hard. It's the process is to master the process is hard at the beginning. Okay, here you go. Now I'm gonna put a little light over here in between. Okay, here you go, like this. Okay, here you go, a little bit light over here. And in the bottom we have a little bit bluish color too. Okay, now I'm gonna take a look on the other side. Reshape it, take a look. I think there's a little bit more curve coming out. Here you go. That's good. Like this. Okay. Pretty good. I'm going to come back with this and this a little bit warm color. And now put that in here. Pretty nice. And have a little bit more bluish color. That's actually in the middle and the inside of the nose over here, a little bit cooler. Okay, here you go. Oh, look at that color. Beautiful. Okay. Now I'm going to have a little bit light brown color and the corner of the mouth. Here you go. I filled in that color. Even a little bit warmer. That's good. Like this. Like that. Pretty good. Now take a look at this color. That's good. Over here. And this color is similar to this color, but it just have a little bit more warmer. A little bit actually a little bit more yellowish. Okay, here you go. That's good. And I'm gonna have a little bit gold, a little bit of the brown color like this, and take this color. Now I'm gonna add that little shape that is a little bit too dark. Okay, little shape over here. And also here too. Very similar color. They are very consistent. Okay. Coming in. Okay, here you go. Like that. Have a little bit gold. Over here, a little gold. Okay. I'm gonna come to use a little bit more yellow and light orange color. Have a little bit red. That's good. I'm gonna come back here. Take a look at this color. Have a little bit more yellow from here. Here you go, like this. I'm gonna show you how to blend the brush stroke. Okay, here we go. Now I'm gonna take a look, a little bit thicker color. Here you go, like this. Oh, look at that stroke. You may miss it. Okay, here you go. A little brush stroke, like that. Okay, pretty nice. You're gonna have a little bit over here too. Okay, a little bit more. Look at that hair. Simple and effective. Okay. Okay, it's good. Gonna take the new color. That's good. The brush doesn't have to be too small. But need to carry the effective feeling. Okay, I'm gonna have this a little bit warmer, a little bit darker. Having this coming out a little bit continuous. Okay, that's good. Right here, gonna have a little bit more brownish. It get a little bit more yellow. Okay, here you go, like that. Okay, nice. Seeing the hair. Now the top over there and the hair over here, I'm also going to make it a little bit darker. So not as light. I'm going to have this coming up. Need to have some thicker pink. Here you go, like this. Here you go, like that. Just a little suggestions. That's good enough. You see, oh, they see the hair. You see, look like the tiger's here. Not the tiger. Sorry about that. Lion. Okay. I mean you. Okay. Lion. Okay, have that. and have a little lighter color. There you go. Right over here, a little lighter. I like that. Okay, now I'm gonna come into take a look some of the color. A little bit too light. I soften it before going into give the also the background over here. I'm gonna have this a little bit softer like that. All right, let's come back to finish the painting. And let's take a look. Let's start from the top over here. I'm gonna take this, very much this color. Take a look at the outside over here. Now push them in like this. Here you go. Putting that in, make a little bit softer. That's good. Now is the final step. Okay, coming in a little bit, look at that. And then here, coming up over here, make a little bit lighter. Okay, a little bit lighter. There you go, right here. That's the here, the color coming down over here. I'm gonna have this coming up like this. Ooh, I like that. The brush stroke, really nice. And here you go. Now that take care of that, the top. Now I'm gonna make it even a little bit lighter. It looks like still want it to be lighter, right above the eye. That's good. Right here, the tip of the nose, that's fine. Let's take a look, and I'm gonna have a little bit darker color. Just a little bit darker right here. And here you go. That's a little bit darker right here. You see that? That's showing the form. That's good. Little change, just a little by little. That's a little bit softer. Now, let's come down to, look at the E over here. We can soften that a little bit. That's the shadow. We can do a small here, a little bit later. Like that, it keep coming down over here. Look at the bottom over here. We can also have a little bit lighter shape. Okay, start over here. Okay, like that. Here you go. And go through the gap over here. We don't have to do it hair by hair. Okay, just get the impression how the hair moving. Okay, over here. There's the hair like that. The hair moving. Is that? That's good. And get a little bit more yellow color. Yeah, little orange. Get a little red. That's good. And here you go. Here you go. Oh, that's good. That's good. Like this. Okay. Here you go. I'm gonna coming in over here. Moving that wet brush coming in to the shadow area. That's good. Coming in over here. That's good. Like that. And have a little light shape. Little light shape into the shadow area. That's good. And here you go, coming down. Have some shape. Have some shape in here. That's good. And coming out. That's good. Have a little big shape. Over here, there's a light shape coming out. Ooh, see that a little bit light shape. The light stroke, and actually looks very nice coming out to the background. That's good. You see that? That looks like a lion, isn't it, huh? Now, the hair on the chin. And now I'm gonna start having some hair coming down. Now it's ready. Here you go, like this. Here you go. That's good. A little bit coming down like this. That's good. Okay. And a little bit longer here. If you did not do it effectively one time, you can come back to do it again. No worry, I'm gonna have a little bit darker color in here. That too. Okay, I think the chin is pretty good already. I just feeling this may be a little bit too much. Luckily, I have a pretty thick color at the outside, so I can just put in the background color and come back like this. It's still making that feeling. Soft edges. Okay, that's good. All right. Now, over here, and I'm going to look into this. I'm going to mix the color, a little bit lighter color. Squint your eye to see what's the color look like. I'm going to get a little bit white and not very, very light. Get a little bit orange in this color too, like this. Now I'm going to come back here. Now I'll take a look, and that is this hair from here coming back in, like that's good. And having that going, and then that's good. A few line. And here you go. Now I'm gonna have the hair a little bit coming in here. Now you can see, oh, there's lots of detail. Well, we don't need to spend that much time in the detail, do we? Here you go. A little bit soft suggestions. That's good. And we need to clean the brush. Do it again. A little bit changes. That's good. Like that. Have a little color. And coming onto this side. See, after you have the last shape effectively, having the colors good, the detail would come along very easily. It's just a brush stroke sometimes, just a few strokes of color. Okay, here you go. Just a little stroke. Cover onto that shape. I'm gonna take a little bit more, a little bit thicker orange color. Yellow, red. Yeah, a little bit more yellow. A little bit white. That's good. Maybe too bright. So get a little bit yellow. Okay, that probably okay. Let's take a look. And you see a little bit color. Yeah, it's not light enough. Here you go. Some of them they're a little bit lighter. And here you go. That's good. Here you go. A little bit onto this side. Now the hair actually looks pretty good so far. And when we have time later, we can always come back to do more. And this is very good. I'm gonna have a couple here coming down here. Like this. And I have a little hair coming down over here. Like that. That looks pretty realistic. And those is fine. I think that the outside over here, it looks just fine. And here maybe a little bit lighter shape. And a little bit lighter shape right here. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna have, I think the hair over here can a little bit higher. I can use the same color over here. Okay, like that. And take a look. It'll get a little bit higher. Okay, that's good. Get a little bit stick out a little bit more. Get a little bit more white color. Okay, here you go. But you don't want to have it all merged together. You have to have the gap. Okay, here you go. And a little here on this side. Ooh, that's good. And sometimes you have to, it's come with the trust of your experience. Okay, here you go. Okay, a little bit more coming up here. Okay, that's good. Now see the hair. Ooh, look at that. Tigers. Natural hair. Now in here, I need to have a little bit light brown color. Somehow a little bit red over here. That's a little lighter color. Now I'm gonna have a little hair coming out like this. You don't have to hair by hair. You don't have to do that much. Okay, here you go. A little bit feel stroke. Suggest that. Okay, that's good. That's good. And sometimes you feel it. You feel there's a color, the hair over there. And by maybe mislead because by the stroke that I put in brought you into think about all those hair by having just a few lines there. Okay, that's a little bit darker color in over here. Now I'm also going to have this connect up over there. That's right over here. There's a little line. And a little dark color over here. That's good. A little bit dark color over here too. A little bit darker. That's good. And also have a little darker color in there. And there. All right. Now I'm going to come back to do a little bit adjusting. Okay, here. I'm going to have this. Okay, too much blue. I'm going to get a little red. That's good. I'm going to have a little bit over here. That's good. And now I'm going to get a little thinner here, just above the ear. Now I'm going to have this little tiny brush, maybe this whole brush. This is good. I'm going to have some hair over here, right about the space of the ear, right here. Get a little bit white. Make sure you have enough opacity. Okay, here you go. There you go. Like that. Ooh, that's good. A little like that. I'm gonna have a little bit more. Little line coming down all the way here. That's good. And here you go. A little curved line over here. Yeah, that's good. And a line over here. That's good. Here you go. Like that. Cover a little bit like that. And here you go. Little here over here. Good. And the outside, you have a little here like this. And that's good. A little bit over here. A little thicker color. Here you go. That's good. Now I'm going to throw a little bit darker color, the shadow color, into that. Now this is good. I have that. I'm going to have a little bit red color. See a little bit brown color over there. Very fresh brown color. Right over here. I'm going to put that in here. And here you go. Have a little bit brown color over here. A little bit over here too. That's good. Over here too. A little bit darker color. Ah, that also looks really pretty good. Okay, a little bit over here coming onto this side, the brown color. That's good. Okay, I have a little bit brown, yellow color over here too. See a little shadow. Just or we call it small shape. It gets smaller and smaller shape, and you have to make sure you get the correct value. And over here, have some darker color coming in here. You see, on the edge. You see, that's make it feel like the small here, and have a little shadow here at the bottom. Okay, that's good. Okay, the ear looks pretty nice. Now I'm gonna have a couple more line, and couple more line over here. That's good. Like it. Oh, I like that line. Okay, here you go. A little line coming here. Okay, that's good. A little bit more line coming over here. A little bit more line. Okay, that's good. Cover it. Okay, that's good. A little bit. And the inside over there I have a little bit darker. There's a little bit darker here. A little bit darker. Have a little bit more blue color. A little green. A little bit darker. Actually, this is a good color. Get a little bit more red in here. This is good. Right here, you can see that actually pretty deep. And in the middle over here, a little bit deep. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now I'm gonna have a little bit more white. Okay, here you go. Here you go, like that. Coming in. A little bit lighter. Okay, that's good. There you go, a little bit lighter. And the back. Okay. I think that's a little bit too much over there. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. Bring it down a little bit. That's good. A little bit softer. Okay. Now I'm gonna take a look at on the outside. I'm gonna make it a little bit softer. Come back to use this brush. And slow down the brush stroke. I think there's a little bit too much. Okay. Very nice. Slow down the brush stroke. That's good. And a little bit shape over here. A little bit shape over there. Showing that small changes at the front. Over here, I'm going to slow down a little bit. So make it soft. A bit softer. They have a little bit more look like almost like a purplish color. Even a little bit blue. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I have a little bit blue over here. To make the color look more interesting. Okay. Okay, that's good. Maybe the top can have a little bit brighter color. Get a little bit more yellow, a little bit red, and a little bit more white pink. Okay, I'm gonna have a little bit lighter at the top over here. I feel a little bit color coming down. A little bit lighter over here, and slow down the brush movement. A little bit coming down, a little bit here like that. And also here, a little bit lighter as well. So when you have the throat too pronounced, and it creates too much contrast. When you slow it down, the movement of the brush stroke, it actually make it a little bit softer, also a little bit more intentional. Make your brush stroke, like over here earlier, and make it a really fast brush stroke, and that a little bit too rough. And now we're going to make it a little bit more softer as well, and put it over here and softer and a little bit softer. Okay, and it's the time to make it more meaningful. And over here I'm gonna have that a little bit lighter. And sometimes you have the stroke very broad. It may be good sometimes we do that in the background, but you don't want to have it a little bit too repetitive. Sometimes you have to make it a little bit more changeable, sometimes intentional, like make it more according to your design. Like over here, I'm gonna have that maybe a little bit curved like this and connect to this green color. Yeah, that's a very good question. And I think that's much softer now after I modify the brush stroke. Okay, and the middle over here, I'm gonna have just a little bit lighter over here. Get a little bit lighter. Okay, here you go, like this. And I'm coming back over here to reshape the outside of the nose and the mouth. Okay, that looks good. That's good. Now I'm gonna have a few whisker. I'm gonna clean this very sharp old brush. And first, I'm gonna put a few white shape. Okay, here you go. Shape it, the brush. Now here you go. Let's start over here. And let's see. Don't push it too hard. Oh, beautiful. One line. Okay, shape it. Okay, make it be very, very put lots of energy. Just pay attention to that. Okay, I think underneath I should have a little bit darker, but it's okay now. Okay, this not as successful. I'm gonna have a little bit line over here. Okay, maybe too thick. Maybe I should have, let's say, a smaller brush. And here you go. I'm gonna have this little line over here. That's good. Okay. That if it's that too thick, you can shrink it. And by take a look at the color in the surrounding. Okay, like that, a little bit blue. Okay, here you go. I can make this a little bit darker. Okay, there you go. A little bit shrink the line a little bit, like that. Also, this is good. I have this, the foundation, a little bit darker. Okay, here you go. Now I'm going to try that again. Okay, now I'm going to use a smaller brush and to see a small brush that we can get. This one is the smallest brush that I have, this brand new brush. Now I'm going to take the white paint and shape it. Look at it again, making sure there's enough paint in it. I'm going to take a look at over here from here all the way come. It's not much enough paint in the brush coming all the way here. Let's see. Okay, doesn't really work as well as the old brush. Okay, here you go. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna have a few down over here. That's good. A little bit more. Oh, that's too thick. Okay, a little bit over here. That's good. And also the bottom over here. We're gonna have that light shape. Get a little bit more white. Okay, right here, a little bit lighter. That's good. Okay, here you go. Okay, that's good. Have a few lines over here. That's very good. Okay, and get up over there. On the edge, I can have a little bit more, a bit darker color. Not really darker, but a little bit more yellow orange color. Okay, that's pretty good. And also we need more white paint on this side. Add a little bit more. That's good. Now I'm going to shrink the color, have a little bit red and with the orangeness color. And I'm going to have the little bit smaller, for example. I'm going to make that a little bit smaller stroke. Perfect. I'm going to have a little bit darker color over here, shrink that part. Okay. Successful. Now I'm going to have a little bit dark here. Dark hair is supposed to be easier, right? Right here. Okay, here you go. Okay, that's good. A little bit dark. Okay, here you go. A little bit over here. Divide it. The shape over here too. Divide that. And above the eye, we're also gonna have a little bit of eyelashes. Okay, a little bit. That's good. Like that. Feeling some light shape coming down. Okay, here you go. That's very good. And you know, that's how the painting gets slowly and slowly come together. Now I'm gonna have this little shape over here. That's good, like that. And a little shape over here. That's good. You know, and I can show that a little bit over here and coming all the way, but a little bit thicker. Okay, all the way, seeing this. See a little bit light left over after go through the whiskers. Okay, a little bit here. There you go. Have some brush stroke like this. A little curve. Okay, now have a little bit orange color in here too. A little bit orange up over there. A little bit orange brown color. That's just orange. Okay. There you go. And also, if you're going to get a little bit smaller texture over here, you also give the feeling of the here and here. And moving up, like I'm gonna use a little bit lighter paint. That's good, like that. More white. That's good. Right on the cheek over here. And a little bit over here too. That's good. And then right under the lower eyelid, need a little bit darker color. A little bit darker brown color. Right here. Here you go. That's good. A little bit darker. It looks like she is squinting. Okay, coming over here. Extend it, break this shape a little bit. So it's just a little by little, and you're going to get it look more and more details, but we don't start from details. But eventually you have the opportunity to get closer and closer to the smaller and smaller area. Okay, here you go. That. And that's how this painting finish.